What up, what up, what up? Hey everybody. Thank you so much for joining on. It is Monday. It is 8:30, which means it's time for Conversations with Teresa. I'm your host, Teresa Aline. I am super excited, as always, to be here with you. It's Monday, it's summertime, it's beautiful out. I got my fan going. There you go. Here we go. So I sent out I made a Facebook Live today, and I'm not sure if you caught it, but I was talking about how I was in my car. I had showered, took my son where he needed to go, jump in the car, and I'm driving. Got my hand on the steering wheel, driving, and I start looking around like, what's that smell? Like what is going on? Like, so naturally I go straight for what child done left some dirty sock or something that they've been sweating in and left it in the back seat. And I'm trying to look around when it's a red light. And I'm like, I don't see anything. But I'm smelling it. And I'm like, it's me. It was me. I was like, wow. Okay. And what's funny about it is that as much as I talk about perimenopause, as much as I talk about the different issues, sometimes I forget some of the things that we go through with perimenopause. And I have to tell you, if you didn't know, now you know, we experience, or we can experience, body odor changes where our hormones are shifting, right? And so that was me today, uh forgetting that I was going through perimenopause because I put on some essential oils. I was smelling good for a minute, and then life happened. But so then I thought about it today, and I was like, you know what? I want to talk about some of the less common things that we suffer through, that we could have an issue with. And we talk about the hot flashes, and we talk about the brain fog and things like that. But I want to tell you some of the things that I have experienced personally. Um, and some of it was before I even knew that I was going through perimenopause. So forgive me, I looked down a little bit. I'm on my computer because I didn't want to miss anything. So I told you about my body odor, right? Listen, you get what you get here. I'm just gonna come to you as I am. All right. So that was one of them. And I don't know if I'm saying this word right. This is like the official word, a formication. So it feels like something's crawling on your skin, and I can't tell you how many times I was like confident something was there, and there was nothing there. And it's usually just on my arm. Sometimes it's on my the lower part of my leg, but I just felt like something was there. Sometimes it could feel like, we're in the summer, right? And so maybe it's what do you call that thing? That insect, the mosquito, right? But sometimes it feels like it's under your skin. And so I felt that today. I swatted something that wasn't there, or unless it was really, really fast. But no, I'm sure that I swatted something that wasn't there because I had the feeling a few minutes later, and I'm looking at it. There's absolutely nothing there. Um, you know, what can you say? And all of this again has everything to do with our estrogen going down, just the hormonal imbalance. Um, but wait, there's more. So, one of the things that I had realized, or that I had noticed, was that I needed to use my inhaler a lot more. So typically, with the change of weather, whether it's winter to spring or what have you, there is that temperature switch. So that's one thing. But even besides that, there's like no temperature. I could just be sitting there watching TV, and I suddenly will need my inhaler a lot more, or need, usually I take 2 puffs, but I might need 3. So I thought that that was, a little strange. And again, this is talking about some of the things that we don't typically feel or that is not typically talked about. And again, I don't want you to be caught off guard, right? The whole point of why I come on here and why I say all of these things is because I don't want you to feel things that you don't have to feel in the sense of confusion. I want you to know that these things happen and that you're not broken, that everything is good, but we are changing, right? We're becoming something different, but it's an okay different. It is a step in to another chapter. All right. So, but again, there is still more. I always had a hard time saying this word. I don't know why, but tinnitus. So I remember specifically, I was waking up, and it was before it was hot, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, who's got the fan on? Like, why is the fan on? And I was looking around, and the fan was not on, surprisingly. But the fan wasn't on, but I heard it. I heard a fan. And I was like, what is going on? And then I realized that it was just internal. And it's primarily from me in my left ear that I hear it. And it's just a constant, sometimes people get a buzzing, but mine is like this, like this fan that's always going. And it's annoying. And it also, for me, it my hearing in that ear that would go up and down. So sometimes like I would block this ear and I couldn't hear quite as well. And not just because of the fan noise, but just because of this thing called perimenopause. It's all good. All right, moving on. My kids will love this. So, and I remember this happened probably a couple of years ago, and my kids kept saying that I was super sensitive to smells, but I would smell stuff and I'm like, what is that? Did you put deodorant on? Or like, and it was usually not a good smell. And I was like, what, why does it smell like vinegar? Like there was just like these things that was strong and nobody else smelled it. And I was thinking, come on, like you don't smell that. Seriously? And I'm looking around, there's nothing there. But we have these phantom smells. I'm sure there's a name for it. I'm just going to call it phantom smells. And just where you just smell stuff. And again, I wish that it was like roses or something, but it's usually something that's unpleasant. 2 more things. And I mean, there's definitely way more, but I just wanted to tell you the things that I've definitely personally have witnessed, felt, experienced, all that great stuff. And again, the purpose is if and when it happens to you, you're all good. You're not broken. All right. I talked about this before, the joint pain and like, for me, it was joint pain. And just with, again, estrogen decreasing, we got issues with our progesterone and testosterone. And so all that stuff is going. And so my joints feel it a lot, right? And so they feel like they're swollen. I remember I would like look at my leg and my knees and think like something must be swollen, but it wasn't, but it definitely felt that way. But one thing I will say, and I may have mentioned this before, I noticed that when I eat certain things, so there was I didn't eat as much bread, or I haven't been eating as much bread as I have been in the past. I just haven't had a taste for it. But then I had, some toast one day and I was like, man, this is good. How come I don't eat this anymore? And then I ate it for like 3 days in a row, some toast. And then I think I was like, oh, well, this is a good reason why not to eat it anymore. I felt stiff as a board. My knees, like I was walking down the stairs, like one. There was no like 1, 2, 1, 2, like none of that, because I felt so stiff. But then I stopped eating this bread. I don't like wheat bread. I don't like rye bread or anything. I only like white bread. So I just stopped eating white bread for the most part. I can't say I'll never eat white bread. But I stopped eating and I felt better. And so obviously we talked about this before. Uh, we want to look for things that are anti-inflammatory, things that are not going to mess with our joints. It's not going to help. It didn't help me out. All right. So if you can avoid it, just paying attention to those things that get to you. All right. And then one last thing that I'll share, and again, there's many more, but it's like this like vibration in my body, and it's weird. All right, really off the chain. Like this has nothing to do with the story, but it made me think about it. I don't know if you guys remember Fraggle Rock. Remember that show, Down at Fraggle Rock? Dun, dun. Right. So I remember in Fraggle Rock, there were like these little people, animals, or whatever, and they would be underneath like the ground and they would be working, right? And I used to remember like putting my ear on the table and hearing a vibration and thinking, oh, Fraggle Rock is there. Like the people in Fraggle Rock are there. Okay, what does this have to do with anything? It's the vibrations, right? I would feel these vibrations in just different parts of my body. And again, usually it was like in my arm or in my leg. And it didn't have anything to do with anything. And it didn't last for very long, just a few seconds. But it's like a zzz, no sound. It just feels that way. And so, again, like I never thought that that was an issue of perimenopause, but I learn stuff all the time. And so as I learn it, I want to share it with you. So really that's it. I just wanted to come on and help you to know that you're not crazy. It's not, it just is. All right. And the sooner that we can accept that it is, and also accept the fact that we don't have to suffer. If you are suffering, call me. You don't have to suffer. There's ways to be able to get over these things, right? To get through them. I won't say over. I don't like saying over something. But there are great ways to be able to deal with it naturally, and some with medication. But do not suffer in silence. Do not sit there and question, is this real or not? It's real. It's happening. You know it's happening because it's happening to you. It is inside. So don't play. Get some help. Get some encouragement. Call me, DM me, whatever you need to do. Reach out. We can talk and figure out what this is, because we're good. We're actually really great. And our bodies are great too. So let's do this thing. Let's do this thing together. I am looking forward to having continued conversations with you and talking about some of the weird things in perimenopause and just in our midlife, you know? So that was just the physical. What about the mental? Ah! Anyway, I love being here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comments that you leave, and when I see you in person, all of those things are incredibly, incredibly encouraging. So until we meet again, God willing, I'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8:30 Mondays, Conversations with Teresa. So peace out. Boom.